hosted by Matt Riches. Watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickers, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickers, watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickers, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickers, watch the market unfold. Grand Rising, Joyous Awakenings. Good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. It is Friday, August 7th, 2026. Happy Friday. The July employment report delivered a major downside surprise. The American economy lost 23,000 non-farm jobs compared with expectations for an increase of 85,000. Average hourly earnings rose only 0.1%, also coming in below forecasts. Stocks initially rallied. Treasury yields declined. The VIX briefly fell below 15, and gold surged to $4,368 an ounce. The market appears to be interpreting the weak employment and wage numbers as reducing pressure on the Federal Reserve to maintain restrictive monetary policy. However, a negative payroll number is still a warning about economic momentum. Today's initial rally is based on the interest rate implications, but investors must also consider what the report says about underlying growth. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Before we get into the charts, let's get into the mindset with our mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I'm the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, let's check out some data. Besides the data that I gave in the beginning, the unemployment rate was forecasted at 4.2%, and it came in lower at 4.1%. The negative payroll figure and lower unemployment rate may appear contradictory, but they come from two different surveys. Payroll employment is measured through a survey of employers, while the unemployment rate is based on the survey of households. Those surveys can diverge from individual months. Overall, the reports show weak payroll growth and slowing wages, even though the headline unemployment rate remains relatively low. The initial reaction was positive across all major indices. SPX, the NAS 100, and the Dow Jones all established new pre-market highs following that report. Treasury yields moved lower, gold spiked, and the VIX briefly dropped under 15. Okay. However, traders should separate the initial reaction from the sustained direction. Even though the sustained direction continues to be positive, and we'll see if we can continue this positive momentum when the market opens. The Fear and Greed Index is at 60, so we remain in greed. Sentiment has improved dramatically, but this is also where disciplined risk management becomes increasingly important. Positive sentiment can support momentum, but it also can encourage traders to chase prices after the extended move. Bitcoin is around 65,000 an ounce. A coin. Ethereum is around 1,900. Overnight news, we had Airbnb reported accelerating bookings and stronger operating momentum, producing a positive aftermarket reaction. The Trade Desk moved sharply lower as it reports investors focus on concerns about future advertising growth and pressure facing major brands. That contrast reinforces one of the central themes of this earnings season. The forward outlook is often more important than the quarter that has already been completed. For today, the jobs reports remains the dominant catalyst. The central question is whether investors continue celebrating the potential interest rate implications or begin worrying about the negative payroll number itself. Next, let's get into Robert Greene's Daily Law for today. Title: Consider their self-interest. Quote, most men are so thoroughly subjective that nothing really interests them but themselves. Daily Law. Show people what is in it for them. Here's the breakdown. The quickest way to secure people's attention is to demonstrate as simply as possible how an action will benefit them. Self-interest is one of the strongest human motives. A great cause may initially capture people's attention. However, once the first wave of excitement fades, their interest may decline unless they believe there is something meaningful to gain. Self-interest provides a more durable foundation. The causes that work most effectively often combine a noble purpose with a clear appeal to personal benefit. The cause creates emotional attraction, but the self-interest helps secure commitment. People usually evaluate an idea by asking a simple question. What does it do for me? Effective persuasion does not ignore that question. It answers it clearly. Understanding self-interest does not require dishonesty or manipulation. It requires recognizing what another person values and communicating it in terms they can understand. In long-term investing, consider the self-interest of every major participant. Management may be motivated by compensation, control, reputation, or long-term ownership. Employees may be motivated by wages, stability, and equity incentives. Customers want better products, lower costs, and greater convenience. Shareholders want sustainable growth and attractive returns. Examine whether those interests are aligned. Management teams that own meaningful shares may have a stronger incentive to create long-term value. However, poorly designed stock compensation can also encourage excessive dilution or short-term decision-making. The strongest investments often create benefits for customers, employees, and shareholders at the same time. For day traders, they should consider what market participants believe they can gain. This morning, investors saw weak payroll and wage numbers and immediately considered the potential benefit of lower interest rates. That self-interest drove stocks higher, yields lower, and gold upward. Do not focus on whether economic data is objectively good or bad. Ask how the data changes incentives for equity investors, bond traders, institutions, short sellers, and the Federal Reserve. Then let price action confirm whether the interpretation is holding. A trade should also offer something clear to you. Define upside, control downside, and acceptable reward relative to risk. If you cannot clearly identify what is in the trade for you, there may be no reason to take it. Stay patient, stay disciplined. Execution over emotion, process over prediction. Now let's get on these charts, y'all. All right, let's start out with NVIDIA. Currently in the pre-market at 221. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 219.20, followed by 217, and then the top of this gap at 216.39. I have a level inside the gap at 214.40, and the bottom of the gap is 213.10. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 221.67. Above that, we got 223.63, 225.95. And just be aware, once we get above the pre-market high, we are in the Smart Money Concepts resistance zone. The midway point of that zone is 226.82, and that zone goes all the way to 232.30. Next, we got Apple. Currently in the pre-market at 312. To the downside support, we got 310.61, followed by 309.25, 307.95, 305.65. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, 313.20, 315.20, 316.29, 317.30. Keep in mind, Apple is in the gap. The gap begins at 311.80. It's a huge gap. The midway point of the gap is 320.70, and the top of the gap is 329.64. All right, next we got Google. Currently in the pre-market at 358.78. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 357.15, followed by yesterday's low 356.88, then 351.75, and 342.50. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high 359.33, 364.13, 366.85, 373.15. Next, we got Microsoft currently in the pre-market at 497.98. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 496.60, 493.50, 491.50, 488.52. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, 499.59, 501.56, 503. Next, we got Amazon. Currently in the pre-market at 274.40 to the downside support. We got the pre-market low of 271.53, 271.05, which was yesterday's low, followed by 268.85, 266.30. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high 274.75, 275.50, 276.90, 279.25, and 282.80. Next, we got TSM currently in the pre-market at 423.79 to the downside support. We got the pre-market low 419, 416.55, 413.10 to the upside resistance. We got the pre-market high 424.93, followed by 426.30, 428.90, 431.05. Next, we got AVGO currently in the pre-market at 427.89 to the downside support. We got the pre-market low of 421.93, followed by 420.07, 416.90, 415.20, and 412.90. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 429.28, 431.45, 442.20. And just keep in mind that we are in a gap. There's a huge gap. The gap begins at 426.50. So the pre-market high and those two levels that I gave are also in the gap. The midway point of the gap is 449.63. So keep that in mind. Next, we got Meta Platforms. Currently in the pre-market at 589.18. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 586, followed by 580.10, 575.45. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 590.44, 591.50, 595.31, 596.40, and 600. Next, we got Tesla currently in the pre-market at 322.59. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 321, 320.15, 317.25, 315.50, 313.20. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 323.50, followed by 324.40, 327.15, 329.55. Next, we got SpaceX currently in the pre-market at 115.26. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 113.90, 112.50, 108.40, 106.65, and 105.11. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 118, followed by 119.55 and 126.70. Next, we got Berkshire B currently in the pre-market. It's pushing pre-market lows right now, and that is 520.50. Underneath that, we got 519.45, 517.21. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 523.14, 524, 525.44. Next, we got Eli Lilly currently in the pre-market at 1188. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 1187, followed by 1174. And to the upside, we got 1197, which is the pre-market high, followed by 1217. All right.
Chase excellence, never chase money. Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money? Do you have the intellectual curiosity to learn everything you can about this incredible industry and master it? Become the smartest person in the room. Have you mastered it?
All right, today's song is dedicated to Earn Your Leisure. Check it out, y'all. You know, it's Invest Fest this weekend.
Dollar tickets precinct. Born in the Bay. When knowledge is different. Turn books into blueprints. And game in a generation of wealth. This one for every earner. From the Bay to New York, let's ride. Earners, we rising, ain't grinding, no stopping. I feel with the knowledge, watch the whole squad lock in. From the Bay to New York, we building together. EYL, earners, we level up forever. Earners, we rising, ain't grinding, no stopping. I feel with the knowledge, watch the whole squad lock in. From the Bay to New York, turn books into blueprints, build wealth that lasts. Troy and Rashad lit the spark in our minds. Financial literacy lessons refine, hustle align. Market Monday, stock knowledge supreme. Every candle tell a story, market structure stay clean. We don't chase hype, we invest with a plan. Study, learn, repeat, it's all in our hands. Earners, we rising, ain't burning, no stopping. High fee with the knowledge. Watch the whole squad lock in. From the Bay to New York, we building together. EYL earners, we level up forever. Earners, we rising, ain't grinding, no stopping. High fee with the knowledge. Watch the whole squad lock in. From the Bay to New York, we building together. EYL earners, we level up. 19 keys worldwide. Thought leader, futurist. Invest in your mind, create cash, get used to it. Ain't Dunlap gives hedge fund prices. Institutional opportunity so priceless. Stocks, options, futures, we learn every lane. Patience over pressure, never gamble for the fame. Every mentor gave another piece of the map. Collaboration over competition, that's bigger than rap. It's bigger than money, it's bigger than fame. It's about the legacy of your last name. It's bigger than money, it's bigger than fame. It's about the legacy of your last name. We rising, ain't grinding, no stopping. High feel with the knowledge. Watch the whole squad lock in. From the Bay to New York, we building together. EYL earners, we level up forever. Earners, we rising, ain't grinding, no stopping. High feel with the knowledge. Watch the whole squad lock in. From the Bay to New York, we building together. EYL earners, we level up forever. From the Bay to Wall Street and beyond. From learning to legacy. Earners worldwide. Let's build. Matt Richards. Peace. Bless.